Hi, this is Dory with Prairie Scraps, and I am actually confined to keeping my foot up. I shattered my tibia and have 10 weeks of bed rest or keeping no weight bearing anyway. So anyway, I've been bored and trying to get some things done just while I'm sitting in my chair. So I apologize for the bad angle. I've been fascinated with these bead garland that people have been making, so I thought this is something I can do while I'm sitting in my chair and keeping my foot up. So anyway, this is my first project. It feels good to finally do something because I've been so out with medications and everything. So anyway, I wanted to come to you today and share with you how I've been making them. This is one of mine that I made with the red twine that I got from Dollar Tree. And then this one I'm not completely done with. I haven't done the tassel on the other side, but we painted these beads. I actually had to have my son do that because I can't sit up in a chair yet, in a straight back chair, to do any painting. So anyway, and I think I've lost a couple of beads, but I just love how beautiful this looks with the red beads put in there. And then I have one, okay, so that's it. I have one that I'm going to show you at the end, like how I did the other end of the tassel, but I wanted to share with you the only thing you really need for this project, excuse me while I lose everything, it's all in my chair, is you will need some jute. I got this from Walmart. I actually had to have it order it pickup, and this is all that I could find online to do it. I found a bigger one. It's jute twine, and let me see, it is outdoor stuff, and it holds up to 7 pounds. It doesn't have a millimeters, but the twine ball that I found actually in the store while trying to navigate a wheelchair, those aren't as easy as you think, although it seems like people are living on them. The jute cord, this is a 6 ounce, 400 feet. It's about the same stuff, but this one had a lot more, 400 feet as opposed to the 190 feet. So anyway, I have plenty of jute to make this. The other thing that you need are beads, and this was more difficult to find, and I ordered on Amazon a package of variety beads. I didn't really know what size was going to work, but and I was trying to find the best deal, so I went ahead and ordered a variety pack. I think, I don't know, there's 8 maybe different sizes. I'm not sure if these little ones are going to be usable for, look at how small those are. I'm not sure I would use those on some of these jute ones. The holes are pretty small, so I may either use them as spacers or I may use them for noses on my nose. So anyway, that's what I got to help me do these. And so the first thing that I always do is make the tassel. So you want to take your jute out of the center, and this one had like a long one. I had it organized out before, but it's gotten tangled. But anyway, you want to take the string that's coming out of the center and not the string off the side. It just works out better in the end because you don't get knotted up. So I'm trying to find the end of that here. Okay, I'm sitting on it. Guess I moved too much. All right, so the tassel is super easy. All you have to do is put it around your fingers, and I like to spread my fingers. I've got kind of small hands. I like to have a little bit bigger tassel to work with. Just wind it around, and I eyeball it. I don't count or anything. I don't measure. This is the best part of it. It's so easy to make these. The other thing I've been doing is kind of researching on Etsy to see what they're priced at, because I'm planning on selling these at my craft fairs. And I think I can, oh, I didn't tell you that I got 700 beads for like $13.95 or something like that. So then I take it off my hand. So I've just got this batch of jute made in, and then I just start winding around. It's nothing complicated. I don't, I go around that till I see the size that I want from the end of my tassel. And then you'll be doing the same thing at the other end for the tassel. And then I like to tie it off here. I tried to do a continuous rope on my tassel. So what I do is I look for that end that I started with. Hopefully I didn't hide it here too far. Never works out when you're videoing. like you planned, but oh, there it is. Try to find the end, and I take that end with this end of where I'm at now that I've wrapped the jute around, and I tie a knot right there, and I tie it 2 times at least, nice and tight, and then I try to just roll that underneath so that those 2 strings will go into the bunch, and you won't even notice where I tied the knot. So sometimes I go in really nice and easy, sometimes it took a little bit to kind of adjust it. I like to move this up a little bit, and then to do the beads, whoops, that one didn't get very tight. I make sure I get it nice and tight. And then the scissors that you will need for this project, I just go ahead and cut it off at the same length, and that will be extra. And then I take another piece of it, the string, and to make the tassel, I just go ahead and cut down the center of all of these. Sometimes I miss one, but then you can see there is the tassel, really nice and easy. And all I do is stick the next piece of string that I want to string the beads on through the center, so I can go all the way through. Sometimes I stick the scissors through so I can make the hole nice and clear, so I can't find it. You want to make sure you get all of those loops on there because you don't want to lose anything. And there we go. And then again, I actually tie this one 3 times nice and tight. And I'm not really worrying about the ends. Putting it through. And then I cut this off real nice and short, so it's not anything that you would really notice in the tassel. So there's my tassel. And then I will usually take off about a yard of string. My arm length is a yard, so I just measure that kind of roughly. And then I'll start putting my beads on how I want. And to make this easier, I actually, this one thing I didn't tell you, I take a little tiny piece of Scotch tape and put on the end so I can string it through and it doesn't unravel. So that's all it takes. And it's just like grade school stringing on beads. I've been using like a big one and then a couple of little ones to make a pattern. So you just string those on however you want. And I like to keep it a pattern. I like it to look plain. You can color these beads. I used acrylic paint to make those red beads, and all we did was roll them in the red and then put them on toothpicks stuck into like an egg carton to let them dry. So there you go. That's what you want to do. And so here, to show you how I finish it off, I've got one that's already strung. And so what I do on this end is I'll make another tassel out of my twine. And so the idea is you could also put a little charm or something on the other end if you wanted. I just don't have them available right now. I'd have to dig through stuff for something to put on there. And I'm not in the digging mood. I am confined to my chair. So this is what we have. So I'm just winding that around again, making a tassel for the other side, and then I take it. It looks kind of similar. Just kind of a baguette and bagage. Wrap it around the top portion. And then again, I will find that end to knot it with. Oops, that one kind of pulled through, but you want to make sure it's tight, so you don't want it to come undone. And then again, I'll work that into that tassel eventually. Whoops, that one totally came out. It was working fine up until that point. I think I'm gonna just cut that little knot off and start again. I'm not sure why it didn't work. And then I'll tuck it underneath. I'm having a little disaster here. All right. And then I'm going to take the other end from my beads and run it through the end of that tassel. Again, I like to take my scissors and just stick it through there. So make sure I have all the loops. Stick it in. I think I'm missing one loop here. Tie that on nice and tight. And then here I like to leave a little bit of space between the beads and the end so that the beads can move, because I like how they look when they're loose. When you use them for decorations, or you use them on your trees or your mantles. And that's all there is to that. I'm going to do a third one just to make sure it stays. And then I'm going to cut it nice and close. And this end I'm going to cut off, that long one, as well as all of these little loops. So I have my tassel. Super, super easy, not hard to do. I think the hardest part was trying to find beads. And I know I have twine around here somewhere, and I don't know where my twine went. Oh, when it looks like this, like there's a bigger space, you can just move these up. I just keep moving them around until the tassels look the same. So there you go. Those are the decorating tassels. Please like it, ask any questions if you have any. I'll try to put a link for the beads on Amazon, or maybe you can tell me where you're finding beads at a better price, and Walmart for the twine. And make sure you like and comment and subscribe.